My name is Pastor Harris with Brothers for Change. Today we'll be talking with a special guest, Carolyn Tyler, that has been coming by for the last couple of weeks and just doing some mentoring with the ladies that are in the program. We just got through seeing a edited version of some of the ladies that have done some interviews. Some of the ladies we're going to start a TV show on positive motherhood and talking about the issues that they face as single mothers and as well as trying to rebuild their families. So as we just watch the programs, as I said, we just want to get a little feedback from Carolyn Tyler on how she felt about their interviews and what they can do better. Give a little bit of her experience in journalism as well as being on the media. So with no further ado, I'd like to introduce Carolyn Tyler.
Hi, thank you for having me. Nice to see you again. I love that show about positive motherhood, and I was really surprised and delighted that the ladies were so forthcoming, that they were really willing to talk about their lives and what they're going through, raising their children, sometimes without a man in the house, and how they're trying to keep everything together. I think a program like that could really have some significance to other women in the community. It's to motivate them, maybe an exchange of ideas, how you're doing this or that, what's working for you. I thought that was excellent.
Yeah, definitely. I think it was a conversation that I think just sparked up as they were just talking about doing something, but I think it was heartfelt, and I think it's something that, they ought to continue.
I agree.
And, like you said, it's an experience that, we're facing right now, especially in our African American community, is single mothers on the rise. So I think it's definitely a conversation that can even maybe prevent some teenage pregnancy, to understand that, it's not a joke, right?
Yeah, and there's it crosses all races
Right.
and socioeconomic. I mean, you see, Sarah Palin's daughter trying to raise her baby and
Right.
debating whether to get back with the father or whatever. So it's not just about young black women, it's about young women in general. So
Right.
yeah, I thought, as I said, it was excellent.
So what did you think about the interview that you seen Tamiji interview Cheryl Davis?
I thought, well, it wasn't exactly, which one was Cheryl Davis? The Mo Magic?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I was going to say on the other one that came before that.
Julissa?
Yes.
Okay.
The one thing I would say is don't ever let the person you're interviewing have the mic. Yeah. Yeah, because who knows what you have a hard time getting it back. And especially if you're on a time constraint and they want to go on and on, because most people are interested in talking about their programs and what they're interested in. So you just make sure you keep that in your head. The one on the Mo Magic, I thought it was really interesting. I learned a lot about the program itself. The one thing I know, being nervous after you ask a question, you're thinking, what's my follow-up question? What's my follow-up? And so you have that and you don't want to have an you don't want to have that dead air. You don't want to use that expression. But the questions that were asked were definitely interesting, and they elicited a good response from her. Like I said, I know about Mo Magic, but I did not know, for example, that it was part of the Public Defender's Office. I wasn't sure exactly how it worked, so in terms of that. And someone was definitely paying attention when I said, ask, is there anything else you want to say? And you saw that, yeah, and you saw that there was something else that she wanted to say. And she was such an excellent interviewee, because she knew to get her phone number out there, to get her email out there. A lot of people don't even think to do that. So what would be good for the production value is if when you run that, you run a crawl that has that information on there that she's putting out. So that people she's saying it and you're also seeing it, and someone can write it down. And so that if they really do want to get in touch with her, they know how. Because now I know, okay, if I want to find out what they're doing, some of that stuff that they do on Fridays, which is my day off, seems like something I might want to go and see what's going on.
So what would be an opening and a closing way of interviewing? Because I know, Timmy, you kind of struggled in the end.
Yeah.
So,
Wasn't quite sure how to end the interview. For something like that, I think the fact that you said, thank you for, I would say thank you for giving us the time. Your information that you provided was really valuable, and I'm sure our viewers will agree. Just something like that, just you come up with a, and all of you guys can think of that, just some way that you are going to end your interview. That was really fascinating. I appreciate you being here. Thank you very much. What, just some little line like that. Yeah. I loved how you guys would say, roll the camera, or I think, that kind of very cute.
We thought
because
it was silly at the time, but
No.
after seeing it on the camera, it
Yeah,
really cool.
it works, and it lets your personality come through, and it shows that you're engaged in what you're talking about, and you're excited about it, and then that makes me want to, I'm like, oh, okay, what is it? It captures your attention, so I thought that was, I think that's going very well.
yeah, I think the one thing that we have is the interest of the ladies and them being themselves. Sometimes, it's a little hard with them getting on the camera, but, everybody has that camera shot. But I think as long as they're being themselves, it's kind of.
That's absolutely the key, because even when you're on a professional level, like the newscasts that I do, I still try to bring myself to the news. So I'm still trying to maintain a level of professionalism, but you don't want to be a robot. People are wanting to see a little spark of you while you're delivering. So I think for not being used to being on the camera, they were doing a good job. You have to get rid of that self-consciousness. And I think when you're first doing those interviews, make sure that you are feeling good about yourself that day, that you're looking the way you want to look, so that you're not distracted by all these other things, and you can just concentrate on the interview that you're giving. And you don't have to worry about, oh, this hair is out of place, or I wish I hadn't worn this blouse, or that sort of thing. And then you just kind of, like the Reverend said, you just bring yourself to the piece. You're interested in the people that you're interviewing, right? I think that came through in the pieces, that if you have a level of interest and a level of ease, then that puts the person that you're interviewing at ease also. And they say, hey, she really wants to know something from me. This is not a waste of my time. This is not just, bunk. This is something real. Is that an old word? Yeah, okay, it's old school.
How important is it to make sure that you set up an interview, you're there and you're on time?
Very important, because you're taking somebody else's time. They're going out of their way, probably, to let you come and talk to them. Now, if they're late, that's different. It's not good for you. But on the other hand, they have that option, but you don't. So you need to be there, ready to go, on time. It's a matter of respect. When somebody tells you they're going to come at a certain time to go to the movies with you, or go to class with you, or whatever, you're expecting them to show up on time, right? So you've got to do that too.
So once again, we want to thank Carolyn Tyler for coming out and giving her an applause.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome.